I was recently in the market for some new side steps for my Nissan Frontier, and after some research, I've decided to go with the APS iArmor. In terms of installation, this is going to be a pretty simple process. If you go under the Frontier along the sides of the truck, you'll see 6 exposed bolts, and it's pretty obvious that this is where you're going to bolt your side steps onto. With the iArmor, you get 6 brackets to correspond with the various bolts that are on your truck. All you have to do is use the provided nuts to bolt the brackets onto the body of your truck. From there, we use another provided bracket to essentially bolt the side steps themselves onto the brackets that are bolted onto the body of the truck. All in all, this process is fairly simple and really easy to do. I got it done by myself, and FYI, if you are doing it by yourself, the box that the iArmor comes in happens to be almost perfectly height for you to pretty much rest the side steps onto and bolt them onto the sides of the truck. Granted, if you're lifted, it's going to be much harder. Now, in my personal opinion, most of these side steps that you're going to see on the market are going to sit about an inch, maybe 2 inches lower than the actual rocker panels themselves. So when you're going to buy them to use them as a step, if you're shorter, to help you get onto the truck, I personally feel that it's semi-useless because, I mean, it's like an inch or 2 lower, so it doesn't help much. For me, what I use side steps for are actual protection from people who are lower than my truck when they're opening their doors, maybe in parking lots or something like that, to help prevent from door dings. Now, in that sense, you essentially want your side steps to be as wide and far away as possible because obviously the closer they are, the less effective they'll be at helping you with door dings. In this case, I would say that the iArmor is less effective than I would like because I have no way of actually measuring this out, but just visually looking at it along the sides of the truck, it looks like the truck pretty much sits flush along the fender flares, so it doesn't really give you that much, lateral coverage. That being said, I have no doubts that it would help with some cars, just not a lot of maybe of the taller, larger SUVs or other trucks. Now that that's out of the way, I do want to point out that this is not my first set of APS iArmor side steps. This is actually the second time that I've purchased it for my truck, with the first being a few years back for my Toyota Tacoma. Funny enough, I think in that video, I overall said that I like the side steps in terms of looks and everything like that, and I still hold that opinion. They look really good. But in my first video, I believe I said something like, if I had to go back, I probably wouldn't buy it again, just because of the poor packaging and the poor shipment and how the product arrived to me. Lo and behold, years later, that sentiment still holds true because when I received this new set of iArmor side steps, they were completely battered and beat up. For some reason, APS still ships these side steps in essentially just a plastic bag. It's 2 large metal pieces of side steps, all metal, sitting side by side with each other with no padding in between, just plastic bags. So during shipment, they just rub and bang against each other, and this results in really damaged finishing. The black, I can see there's a bunch of scratches and whatnot, and there's even some little minor denting. But the worst part is one of the side steps was packaged in a bag that had super gritty material, like sand or something like that, and that sand just destroyed the finish along some of the sides, and that obviously is not optimal. It's not what we want when we're buying a new product. So in my situation, I had to contact the reseller who I bought it from because during my research, it seems like APS, they don't have an actual website or storefront, something like that, where you can actually contact the actual manufacturer themselves. They seem to be just like a faceless, I don't know if they're Chinese, but it seems like just a faceless Chinese company who sells it to other resellers for them to sell it back to the end user. And that's going to be a problem in situations like this where I had a really damaged product. So all I could do was contact the reseller and in hopes of them helping me out. And in my situation, that was difficult because they only answered like 1 email a day, and they were kind of like standoffish in terms of what they can help me with. But at the end of the day, I was able to get $100 off of the side steps, and I believe the original price was like $230 or something like that. So $100 off of $230, let's call it $230, it was like $130. So $130 for the side steps I got. Yeah, they're damaged, but I think I can live with it for just the rather cheap costs. I mean, a can of spray paint is like $6 or something like that, so I can deal with it for now and refinish the side steps later. So I just want you to keep that in mind if you are interested in the same product, because I'm letting you know now, there's a really good chance, like a really good chance that your product is going to come damaged in some way. But if you're like me and can get a decent discount, maybe it's worth keeping. But if you can't and you're paying full price for a damaged product, I personally wouldn't do it. And that's gonna be it. If this video has helped you out, I'd appreciate if you can give the video a thumbs up, share it around, comment down below with any thoughts or questions that you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content. And if you want to further support my work, consider hitting the join button down below to become a member of this channel or become a patron on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.